Hello, and welcome back to the Household of Faith. And today I'm going to be um, propagating a poinsettia and Swedish ivy plants. And this is August the 14th. I just got through spraying down, wiping off my scissors, and this is somewhere I keep alcohol water to be sure that I'm ready at all times to kill something or propagate something. And I'm going to show you the plants. Okay, these are the standard propagation tools that I use. Aloe, an aloe leaf that I generally just buy it at the store, and they're not very expensive. Okay, this one looks like it's seen about the last day. Let's see, how about here? Okay, this is still usable. It's not very usable. Um, it's going bad, as you can see. It's no longer clear, and this part is definitely not usable. So I'm gonna have to toss this out. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and cut off about this much. I think I positioned the camera so that you can see. You know, I see YouTubers all the time saying, oh, it's hard to see. And you know what? That is true. It's hard to hold the camera and look in it and do whatever you're doing. So um, don't worry about it. It's just the way it is. This has still got some use in it. So I'm gonna kind of cut that in half because I have a poinsettia and a Swedish ivy. So I got some dirt. I'm not gonna do the poinsettia in water. They don't really like rooting in water. Here, man, I still can't see it. I'm gonna have to move the camera, sorry. This is the poinsettia plant. And I had tried propagating it a few months ago, and I promptly forgot to water it. And here's some areas where you can see I did cut it off. So I'm basically going to be cutting this down pretty good. I have, the next is the Swedish ivy, which is this one. And there's some, I think you call this the Chinese ivy or Asian ivy in there with it. Don't worry about that. Now, this is a bottle of aspirin water, and I dissolve one tablet of uncoated aspirin and fill it up, and I'll pour half of it off into something and then fill it back up again, and I can use it indefinitely. So this is aspirin, the aspirin water here. So I'm put back honey, raw, unfiltered, from Texas. Yep, honey never spoils, so you're gonna have this forever. And my favorite, hydrogen peroxide. These are the tools. So I usually put peroxide in this bottle, but once exposed to water, it doesn't last for very long. So um, I tend to just add a little bit to it. That's enough. just to revamp it. And then we're going to get ready. I've got my dirt soaking in water so it can actually get wet, because this dirt is just, it doesn't hold water. So you really want to make sure that your medium is wet. This is good and wet, and it's dripping good. I'm gonna move that into another pot. This is some more dirt for another project. And you see how I beaded it up? It's just gonna sit there. It's not gonna do much. It's not that big of a deal. And to propagate, you really don't need a lot. Just the basic stuff to start. So I'm going to go ahead and find a couple of places where I can cut the poinsettia. And this is the one I really want to focus on today. I watched quite a few YouTubers, and I always Google it just to get a good idea if I'm doing it right or whatever. But let me tell you something. I found that none of the people mentioned the milky latex sap that comes out. None of them mentioned that. And that can be toxic. You don't want to get it on your hands, and you definitely should wear gloves. I don't wear gloves because I know that it can be toxic, and it's not that big of an issue for me because I know that. But for those of you who don't, so I'm not sure if you can see, this is where I want to take my first cutting from here, right there, if you can see it. I know it's kind of hard. We're really close to the camera, and even looking in the camera is kind of hard. So these scissors are good. I just clean them, good snip, and look at that milky substance, which, like I said, can be toxic. And I'm going to cut this tall one off here. It'd be easier if you could actually see what I'm doing, but I'm sorry, you can't. Here's another piece. Uh-oh. There we go. So that's the second piece here. Where can you see it? There. No, you couldn't see that. All right, let's see. There. So not a lot because it's still watered. It needs watering. So I've cut this plant literally in half. So I'm going to move it back over out of the way. And so now we need to, this is a very nice piece of growth. I kind of hated to cut it off, but you know what? That's what happens when you go to propagate stuff. You have to sacrifice. See where that broke there? See that? Stop coming out. I'm gonna go ahead and snip, 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 and one last snip. All right, so this is what I'm going to be working with, and I gotta throw all these away, but I'm going to go ahead and get the other one, and I'm going to cut it about half the leaves off. I could cut more off because I want it to be, there we go. I don't want the leaves in the way. Okay, I think that's going to do it for this one, for sure. And this one, yeah, we can cut more. Like here, these here. Oh my. And I don't have to wash my hands because I can feel the little sappy, the little sappiness coming off. You cannot propagate them by leaf cuttings. So, the last time I know I used cinnamon, and because all these nicks are actually open wounds. So, I'm just going to give them a little dressing of aloes to help them heal better, stronger, faster. Of a $6 million man. Okay, here we go. So that's what I'm going to do, and to just coat them generously, and I want to leave them sit there because I like for the aloe to kind of dry on them. And I'm going to coat the next one same way. And they're going to go in the dirt. But one more thing, I don't want to worry about I don't want to have to worry about them. So we're going to leave them sit there on this tray to dry. That's the aloe I used. That's the other part of it. And now I'm going to get my pot here. I'm going to be using this. And I'm going to get my honey. Oh, I forgot my little honey thing. Okay, I got my little honey thing. I poured a little honey in here. And now I need to take just something to put the hole in. I'm going to stick my poinsettia in here for rooting. I'm trying to decide if I want to put them both in one cup. Well, I'm not. Just going to punch a good hole in there. And I'm going to tilt this cup and stick the poinsettia in the honey. I'm going to coat it as well as I can. Hope you can see this. And so that it's well coated. And then I'll stick it directly into the soil, just like that. And I'll smush it down and around. Now, that's one. So, I think you can see down in there pretty good. So, now I am going to cover it with a bag for the humidity. I'm going to do the same thing with this next one. Nothing special. Okay, the second one is a little different. So I've already put the honey on it, as you can see, honey on it. And I'm going to take the aloe piece and I'm going to wrap it in the aloe. and stick it down in the dirt. If I can get it in there properly. And there, to help it along its growth path. And you know, some of you might say, well, it doesn't take all that, and you know what, it may not. But honey, I do not use rooting hormones, store-bought. I don't care what they say. It's not natural. It is honey's natural. Aspirin or willow bark are natural. Cinnamon, natural. Um, and I would prefer to use something that is natural as opposed to anything manufactured, extracted, or man-made of any kind. So there we are. The hard part is going to be waiting until the end of September to see some roots. So that's in there, and it's standing up on its own because the dirt is really wet. And here's this first one, and I did not, as you can see, I did not use that aloe. So here we go. Now the last thing I like to do is to pour a little sand, and this is optional. This is just me, you know, on top. And final step is to cover the plant with a plastic bag. And this is just a standard Dollar Tree sandwich bag. It's not that big of a deal. This I did not do when I planted the other ones. I used the cinnamon for the rooting hormone. There we go, there's one. And here's another bag. Now cover this one up. Get this over here. You know what, I should just cut the leaf off some. Yeah. Just cut these leaves off a little. It's already doing its thing. So cut the leaf off this, not off that. So I want to see what difference it makes or not, because I'm going to be providing extended humidity, so the leaves should not dry as much. Come on. I know. Well, not like I'm going to lick my fingers, you know, when I'm done. But here, so there's the second one. Yeah. Some say, oh, the leaves shouldn't touch whatever. And I'm not saying that's not true. I'm just saying that sometimes it gets to be too much just to propagate. So there we go. Here, I'm going to throw these leaves away. Rinse my hands off. All right. Make sure I throw the leaves in the trash because this family has pets. I don't, but since poinsettias can be toxic, That's something to worry about. So there they are. And thank you for watching. Update you within a few months. I'll look and see. Once we get new growth, we know that it's working, or it should be working. And then at the end of September, like I said, I should have 2 new plants. But there's a plant swap coming up, and that's the main reason why I want to get these propagated, because I want to be able to share them. Well, one with somebody. I'll say that. And thank you for watching. I thank God for all of you. And remember, the household of faith is about planting what and growing whatever God has made. You know, man makes all kinds of stuff and it's irrelevant. Basically, it doesn't hold a candle. This has too much water in it. I need more dirt. So we're going to be going on to the Swedish ivy. Have a wonderful day, and God bless.